And now, here's our artist spotlight.
Everybody out there at Public Praise TV, I am Dima, also known as Mrs. Ruckus, and this is rare. We're around a baby grand piano right now, and I'm standing with the McKains. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Awesome. So I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Nicole McKain.
I'm Jeremy McKain.
I'm Violet McKain.
And I'm Andrew McKain.
So when did you guys start singing?
Well, actually, it started a while back, like many years ago. What happened was when I was about 5 years old, we had a toy piano that I used to fiddle around with at home. And eventually my parents said, you know what, we might as well send him to piano lessons. So once I did that, a little after I started taking piano lessons, God started giving me some songs. They didn't make a lot of sense to everybody and not to me at this point, but you know, it was a start. So once I started writing the songs, of course, we needed somebody to sing it. My sister Violet, who's the second oldest, she had already started to sing a little bit, and Jeremy, he was coming up singing, and Nicole, she was trying to sing. So we all started putting the songs together, and eventually more and more songs started coming. So my dad was like, you might as well record an album. Now, of course, he has great faith and, you know, great trust in us, so he went ahead and did that. And, you know, that's an album we don't talk about now. But we did a second album as well. And then just from that, once we started recording, getting some more experience, more songs started coming, and here we are today.
Awesome. And you guys had the opportunity to open up for Kirk Franklin.
Yes.
Tell me about that. I saw you there. I was so excited. You guys gave an awesome performance. Tell us a little about that.
Well, that was kind of set up by our manager, which is Chris Worrell, shout out. He kind of set that up for us, and we got on the program. We were a little bit nervous at first, but God made a way. And we performed or ministered, as we call it. And, you know, it was a cool experience. We got to meet him and take a picture with him, so there's always a benefit with that.
That's awesome. But you guys, I'm finding you have a different niche. You are more into the worship experience. How do you guys tap into that? It's really hard to kind of tap into that anointing. I know you must seek God's face. Tell me a little bit about that process.
Well, I would say that with worship, it's more of a lifestyle. So you can't just come together and say, okay, we're going to have a group and we're going to be worship. What it has to happen is that, like you said, we have to seek the face of God. We have to live a life of consecration and everything like that. And then once you're devoted to God, God will allow that worship to flow through you freely. And it'll come out in the songs you sing. It'll come out, you know, just in the way how you live your life. Because worship is basically a life that's consecrated to God. So when you're a worshiper, you're going to do whatever it is to give God glory.
So tell me a little bit about your latest project. How did that happen?
Well, it was basically a vision that God kind of gave all of us. Me, personally, it was a dream of mine from I was a little kid to do a live recording, because everything we did up to this point was studio done. So we decided, you know, let's step out on faith. We didn't have the money for it, but God honestly opened the doors left and right, boom, boom, boom. And he made it happen. And September 24th, we had our official live recording. So that will be our 5th album, I believe it is.
It's the 6th project, 5th album.
There you go. Yeah, so that's kind of how that door was opened up. So we're looking forward to it being released sometime in January, late January. So yeah, that's kind of how that happened.
So this is a different dynamic because you guys are brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time that you guys clashed?
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
And how did it show in the middle of a worship experience? Have you ever had that problem?
I wouldn't say so. We try to make sure that once we get up there, even if we're arguing right until we get on stage, we try to make sure to put it aside.
There's been times we argued right up to the point we got to get up and minister, but then once we get up there, we got to forget about it all, squash it.
Of course, we're 4 individuals with different personalities, but when it's time to minister, we focus on God. We leave our problems behind us.
Right.
Awesome. That is awesome. I have one more question for you right before we get into this worship experience. Here at Public Praise, we say we are proud to proclaim and we're never ashamed. What makes you guys proud to proclaim, and why are you never ashamed?
Well, what I would say is that we grew up in church. Our parents, they brought us up, you know, knowing who God is, serving God, going to church faithfully and consistently. But as a young Christian, there has to come a point where you know God for yourself.
Right.
And that happens based on experience. So when you've seen God come through for you before, when you understand how real God is and how important it is to devote your life to him, then that's when it becomes personal. And once it becomes personal, then you develop that joy for serving God. You develop that peace in knowing that no matter what I go through, God is with me. And I can proclaim that, and I can tell the world that you may be going through something, but if you have Jesus on your boat or in your corner, then he's able to make everything all right.
So ditto for you guys.
Oh, that's pretty much summed it up. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. We're in agreement. So you guys stick around. We'll be right back with the McKains Awesome Worship Experience. Don't move a muscle.